And there it is! Meet Galarian Ponyta in Pokemon Shield. I've already watched this trailer, and it is just wonderful. Like any of the interactions we have seen with Galarian Ponyta so far. Like at the end of the 24-hour stream, when they both show up and start playing together, absolutely adorable. The Pokemon just looks wonderful as well. I am all in on this, and then we even get to see gameplay footage of Glimwood Tangle. It's also kind of following up what we had with the 24-hour live stream. Instead of that pre-rendered kind of setup thing that we had from the stream, Glimwood Tangle looks amazing. Seriously, how are people complaining about the graphics of Pokemon Sword and Shield? Just doesn't make any sense. And we also get to see what happens like when there's a battle going on inside of Glimwood Tangle. I can't wait to explore it. Like, I already wanted to see that just from the first time we saw it with the Pokemon Sword and Shield map. Like, we got the crazy mushroom forest. That's going to be cool, and it looks amazing. So this is what you see when you're camping, and the rest of it is just super hype. So, Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's just going to be wonderful every step of the way. But now that we have the official information about Galarian Ponyta, we can head on over to the Pokemon Sword and Shield website. Wait a second, this thing is psychic. What is going on? I need a minute, guys. So yeah, funny thing about the Galarian Ponyta, it's actually interesting because when people were reanalyzing this on Twitter, they're like, wait a second, this, like, because this is the image we had. This was as big as it got, so it was really blurry. Some of the details were hard to figure out. And when you look at the color, that seems more like the psychic color for the typing because Fairy is a lighter pink. So that means that this might just be a psychic type. And I think that might actually make it more My Little Ponyta than actually it being a fairy. It just looks like such a free fairy, but it isn't, which also means all those leaks are complete nonsense, as I said anyways, because getting 1% of the prediction does not make it an accurate leak, Austin John. Stop clickbaiting. Whew, where'd that come from? But now we have the full details. So Runaway Pastel Veil. So Pastel Veil is new. We covered that in the last video, but Runaway. This is something that we don't really see that often. Now, a reason why you might not know about the Runaway ability is because it has no competitive usage, and the Pokemon that have it, you usually don't keep around for a while or long enough to really make sense of. Also, when you think about it, you know, Rattata, original Red and Blue Generation 1, there were no abilities, so you didn't even get to feel that anyways, but a Pokemon with this ability can always flee and use Teleport successfully regarding of trapping moves and abilities. This ability has no effect on switching out, so it's only for wild Pokemon encounters. Runaway does not guarantee escape in the battle pyramid, but if a Pokemon with this ability successfully flees, the escape will be credited to Runaway. Generation 3 and 4, the player's Pokemon with Runaway faints in wild battle. If the player attempts to flee instead of sending out another Pokemon, the escape will go without fail. Generation 5 onward, escape is no longer guaranteed in this situation, and then the Runaway banner happens. So maybe that would be it. That if you use it in like Generation 6 or 7, you just see the like ability banner for Runaway, and that's kind of it. No effect outside of battle, so it doesn't like prevent wild Pokemon counters, just makes it to where you can peace out if you have them. I feel like I might have used Runaway in a guide, in a strategy for some kind of like soft resetting, maybe. Even though it's kind of not necessary because all you need is a higher level Pokemon to guarantee your flee anyways. So there's like maybe some kind of really niche tactic that Runaway has been used for, but I can't think of it. Oh, also Wooloo has Runaway, but Fluffy is going to be the primary one, much like Pastel Veil is going to be the primary one for Galarian Ponyta. So here's the extra details. A change brought about by the life energy of the forest. Galarian Ponyta have been found in certain forests of the Galar region since ancient times. It is said they were exposed to the overflowing life energy of the forest over many generations, and this is why their appearance has become unique in this region. That's cool. So why did we have to research to find out about it if it's already an anciently known Pokemon? I'm not like using this to rag on the 24-hour live stream. I thought the 24-hour live stream was wonderfully executed and an amazing idea, but it is kind of like the weird thing when we get like a new Pokemon discovery when the Pokemon is already well known and established inside that region. That's just how new generations work. Behold its glistening mane. Man, even the writer is like, yo, I got nothing else to say. Just behold. So Galarian Ponyta can absorb the life energy of surrounding atmosphere and store it in its mane. It seems that Ponyta's mane will become more colorful and even emit a sparkling glow. There's a lot of energy around. That makes sense. That was also the information that we had from this. So that's pretty cool. And then the Pastel Veil. Galarian Ponyta's ability, Pastel Veil, is a new ability introduced in these titles. The ability prevents Pokemon and its allies from becoming poisoned. It can even cure the poison status of allies when this Pokemon enters the battlefield. It's also a nice little clarification of the ability compared to what I covered. I already talked about this, like, I guess power creep in Pokemon. Yay. The only thing that comes up after this is immunity, because that's kind of the direct comparison, and immunity is very niche. I only used it on Snorlax because when I was setting up Stockpile, people wanted to Toxic Stall me, and if they use Toxic, I win the game because they gave me a free turn of setup, which is what you cannot do against a stockpiling or Curse Amnesiaing Snorlax. That's about the most I got out of it, but this is going to be like the primary ability. It's also going to show activation when it comes in, so there's no real surprise factor. It just seems like a supportive Pokemon, but as of now, we only got Galarian Ponyta. Also, I guess we're just never going to see any information that's official about Impidimp, unless it's in the next trailer and we finally get to evolution, because this was what I called it. I said we were going to get the Meet Galarian Ponyta on Pokemon Shield because we needed the Sirfetch'd counterpart, the, Meet Sirfetch'd and Pokemon Sword. We need that counterpart as the next trailer before anything else, most likely, for all the reveals to make sense. So we still have a big trailer coming at some point in October. Might be next week. Might be the week after. That'd be pretty fair. Will we get starter evolutions? Who even knows at that point? But more information is on the way, and that's a good thing. I'm happy that we didn't get the Impidimp reveal, because that would take away from the, bigger trailer that we have coming on. So we still have to see, what's going to happen with Galarian Rapidash. Thing that was kind of weird is, we got Weezing, so we got an evolution of a Pokemon already revealed, and we got a lot of details about it. We ended up learning about, actually, no, we didn't get the, yeah, when it was revealed, we just had Levitate ? And then we learned about the neutralizing gas afterwards at Pokemon Worlds. But we can still have, the fully evolved kind of reveals that we've had. So it's just kind of a nice little cute side thing, hey, it's Galarian Ponyta. It's going to be a fun, awesome Pokemon. And then we'll see, how competitively viable Rapidash is. And the Pastel Veil is probably going to stay on it as well. But I think the same thing I said in my last video kind of holds true. That Pure Psychic is an alright typing. I think Pure Fairy is just better because they had to, kind of make it a little strong against those Dragon-type Pokemon and make it just a good typing overall when they introduced it in Generation 6. But Psychic's still pretty good. Dark has felt like it's kind of dropped off because of the introduction of Fairy, so that makes Psychic good again, kind of. But Pure Psychic, not really the best offensively, but if it's supportive, that works out because Bug, Dark aren't really super common. Ghost, there might be some more Ghosts that pop up, but it works out as a neutral typing. And I guess if Galarian Weezing becomes strong, or other Poison synergy becomes strong, then you can just use Psychic to mow that down. So having a fast Psychic sweeper works, but the ability is kind of utility. So we're going to see where it goes. And then also because of how, the regional variant is going to change up the stats, it's going to be really interesting. So also I want to check out Rapidash, get an idea of where this Pokemon might be going. Runaway, still Runaway. Flash Fire, now Pastel Veil. Hint ability, probably going to be some kind of Psychic synergy. I'm not going to go as crazy as saying Psychic Surge, but that would be nutty. However, we already have, the Dynamax being able to set all the terrains and stuff, so that's something that's hard to see. And really, the only thing Rapidash is known for is just having an above-average speed, but 105 used to be great. Now 105 isn't even average feeling, it seems, for a sweeper, so we're gonna have to see some overhaul right there. 100, 105, actually not bad. There's a lot of worse Pokemon out there, but it just doesn't keep up in today's games. It is usable in Pokemon Let's Go, so there's that. I mean, it has a surprising 500 base stat total. A lot of Pokemon don't break 500, so it has stats to throw away and work with. And maybe if we don't go the Alolan route, because the thing about the Alolan Pokemon was that they had the same base stat total, just kind of reconfigured, and that's why a lot of Alolan Pokemon weren't viable anyways. That the idea behind the Alolan Pokemon was type and ability are going to make the Pokemon viable, and then slightly more optimal stats. But I mean, Alolan Golem, for example, has the same stats as regular Golem, and then we see Pokemon like Alolan Dugtrio that just take 10 points off the speed and put it into attack and say, there you go, buddy, have a good time. And also, Alolan Ninetales is pretty good because it gets speed, so it just kind of reworks all the stats in kind of a crazy way. How that's going to work with Rapidash, we'll see, unless they are going to be pumping extra stats, in which Galarian Weezing is going to be terrifying, Galarian Linoon is going to be usable, and Sirfetch'd is just a straight-up evolution, because reworking Farfetch'd stats wouldn't really bring it much benefit anyways. So there's still a lot on the table when it comes to the new Pokemon, stuff like that. Pastel Veil, even Toxic in doubles is very not really used too much. It's only a doubles ability, kind of like Healer. And Healer isn't guaranteed, but it's kind of better because it does more. I don't think people are going to be running, like, you know, Poison Gas into Venoshock. But we have seen, like, Synergy. I think Poison Gas is an underrated move, for sure. Because being able to do 1/8 and hitting both opponents is nice, but it doesn't keep up with all the other crazy things going on in doubles. So, I mean, it's just kind of there. Like, you sit it in, and if you maybe try to play some kind of tank setup, which also doesn't work in doubles because your tank gets double focused and doesn't get a chance to be a tank, we'll see how that goes. So, Pastel Veil, maybe in singles it'll be good. Like, if you can predict a Toxic, if your opponent is using Sludge Bomb, you can switch it in. But Psychic doesn't even give you that poison resist. So, maybe that would make Pastel Veil better. Is that if, like, a side bonus of it was that it also made poison type hits not very effective? I think that's all there is to it. The trailer is wonderful. I want to engage with Pokemon Sword and Shield more than ever. Glimwood Tangle, it's beautiful. No surprises. It's like a cave. You know, the trees create a cave, and then we have all the light coming from the mushrooms. I haven't identified that move, but I don't think it's going to be super crazy significant. However, wait a second. Wait a second, Pokemon Sword and Shield haters. That attack looks like it's coming from the horn. Game Freak cares. GG. So, Psywave? Psybeam? I'm gonna go with something simple like that, and not like something crazy like the, what's Deoxys' psychic move? Psycho Shift. That's it. Either way, good trailer. Makes me more hyped for Pokemon Sword and Shield. 24-hour live stream was awesome. We now have, like, the full details, and then that means, like, big information is now opened up because of the Galarian Ponyta, so that is awesome on its own. Could be competitive. Psychic threw us for a loop. Still gonna be interesting in a usable way. And then it's just kind of like a screw you to Galarian Weezing, but I don't think it's going to be strong enough for all the other, like, uses. You know, I don't think it's going to have many use cases to make it just kind of sit in there for just in case a Galarian Weezing shows up. It is weird. We're finding a lot of these interactions, and now we just kind of get to wait for more information and see what happens when Pokemon Sword and Shield comes out. So, guys, enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.